I wasn't able to watch many films this December. Call me too caught up in the holiday spirit or just way too addicted to video games at the present moment, but I was sadly only able to see 9 films. Rango is a visually stunning and delightfully quirky animated film. The film's visual style is nothing short of spectacular, with its richly textured animation and cinematic framing that pays homage to classic westerns. The amazing cast of characters is each uniquely designed and brimming with personality, and elevates the film's offbeat charm. The dialogue is sharp, filled with wit, and a surprising amount of depth, balancing humor with musings on identity and belonging. Hans Zimmer's score, of course, beautifully complements the narrative, blending the spirit of the Old West with moments of whimsy and grandeur. The film's only minor flaw is a slight meandering middle act, but this is quickly forgiven as the story ramps back up to an exhilarating and heartfelt conclusion. Rango is a rare gem. Funny, weird, and surprisingly profound. It's not just a film for kids, but a love letter to the Western genre as a whole, and a must watch for anyone who appreciates bold storytelling and classic stories. Conclave is a film I was very confused about going in. I'd heard a lot about this film, both good and bad, and I wasn't sure which side I would land on. Luckily, Conclave is a gripping, tightly woven political thriller set within the secretive and sacred world of a papal election. The original novel follows a cardinal, dean of the College of Cardinals, as he navigates the intricate and often treacherous dynamics of power, faith, and ambition during the election of a new pope. Harris masterfully creates an atmosphere of tension and intrigue, with the locked door setting of the Sistine Chapel serving as both a physical and symbolic crucible for the unfolding stakes. The characters are richly drawn, each with their own secrets, motivations, and vulnerabilities, making the reader question who is truly worthy of the papacy. Conclave excels as a meditation on power, morality, and the human condition. Wrapped in a compelling narrative, it's a must watch for fans of political drama and anyone curious about the interplay between faith and ambition. Memoir of a Snail is a film I knew I would love even before I sat down to watch it. This film is a visually stunning and deeply contemplative film that hit me in the feels more than any other film this year. It delves into dark themes and events, but always remains fun and optimistic despite the grim tone. The animation is rough but perfectly suited to the story. The characters are rich and convey the entire spectrum of emotion. Memoir of a Snail is the biggest gem of 2024 and worth seeing over and over again. Columbus is a quiet and visually striking film about connection, architecture, and the spaces we inhabit both physically and emotionally. The film follows Jin, played by an always stunning John Cho, and Casey, two strangers brought together in the small town of Columbus, Indiana, as they navigate their personal struggles and develop a deep introspective bond with each other. The film's true star is its aesthetic. Every frame is meticulously composed, with the town's modernist architecture serving as a poignant metaphor for the characters' emotional landscapes. The performances are subtle yet incredibly powerful, with Cho and Richardson, who plays Casey, conveying layers of vulnerability and longing in their restrained interactions. While the slow pacing may not suit all viewers, it allows the film's themes of presence and personal contemplation to shine. Columbus invites audiences to reflect on how we find meaning in the ordinary and how human connection can reshape our perception of the world. A beautifully crafted and deeply moving story. The Sorrow and the Pity is a masterful and deeply powerful documentary that examines the moral complexities and haunting realities of the French people under Nazi occupation. Spanning over 4 hours, the film weaves interviews, archival footage, and personal testimonies into an abstract and ultimately damning exploration of collaboration, resistance, and the evil we are so quick to forget. The film's strength lies in its unflinching honesty, challenging romanticized notions of wartime heroism and exposing the compromises people make to survive and to profit. The interviews are raw and revealing, with former collaborators, resistance fighters, and ordinary citizens sharing stories that are heartbreaking and infuriating. War of the Rohirrim, an animated prequel to The Lord of the Rings, brings to life the legendary history of Helm Hammerhand and the founding of Helm's Deep. While the film offers good animation and a deep dive into Middle-earth lore, it ultimately falls short of its epic scope and emotional depth. The animation is beautifully crafted, with detailed character designs and sweeping landscapes that capture the grandeur of the Rohirrim world. The action sequences are intense, and the film does a solid job of exploring the complexities of Helm's leadership and his kingdom's struggle for survival. However, despite the compelling setting and world significance, the characters lack the emotional resonance of the beloved figures from Lord of the Rings. The plot feels extremely disjointed at times, and the pacing falters in many places, failing to fully engage viewers on a deeper level than just plain action scenes. Nosferatu was my most anticipated film of the year, and despite my family's urges for me to stay at home, I abandoned the Christmas tree cheer and drove to the theater. Robert Eggers' latest film is a haunting and visually striking reimagining of a classic vampiric tale, blending gothic atmosphere with modern horror. This new Nosferatu sticks even more to Bram Stoker's Dracula than the original. Honestly, if it had just been a straight Dracula film, it would have been the best adaptation of my favorite horror novel. The cinematography is exquisite, as always, with dark, moody lighting and surreal, dreamlike imagery that evokes the eerie tone of the original Nosferatu. The film's unsettling atmosphere is amplified by a haunting minimalist score that contemplates the tension in every scene. The vampire is both terrifying and tragic, a being trapped by his own eternal curse. My one flaw with this film is that I really wish it had been scarier. The opening scene is the most terrifying of the movie, and it just lacked the primordial fear present in Eggers' other work. My American Uncle is a thought-provoking drama that explores the psychological and sociopolitical impacts on the lives of three individuals. The film intertwines personal narratives with broader reflections on French society, offering an insightful commentary on human behavior and relationships. While the performances, particularly from the lead three characters, are commendable, the pacing and tone occasionally struggle to maintain engagement. Despite these moments, the film's clever use of psychology and its exploration of complex emotional states make it a very compelling watch, though it might not appeal to everyone's taste. It didn't really to mine. But overall, it's a solid film that offers more depth than immediate satisfaction. Flow knocked my socks off more than I ever thought it would. I knew that it would be good, but as the film went on, I found myself fully caught up in the world, themes, animation, and the lovable cast of characters. Told without a single line of dialogue, the animals of Flow truly feel like animals. And despite its limitations, Flow is able to excel at pacing and environmental storytelling. There was nothing this month like Flow in terms of creativity and impact. I hope you have a good end to your year. Keep safe out there, and I'll see you in 2025.